Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Is that your mom?
Yes.
Hi. How are you, Christina's mom?
I'm good. I look pretty rough this morning. I decided to take a break and just sit and relax.
That's okay. You don't have to turn the camera on unless you want it on. You don't have to have the camera on. It's okay. I don't mind. I don't you don't need it on. I'd rather just listen to your voice, but you decide what you want to do.
The camera's fine.
All
The
right.
camera's fine.
So, can I ask you a question? Is your father passed away?
No.
Or your grandfather?
My grandfather?
Yes. And what about your mother?
Uh,
And what about your mom?
No, my mom is still here.
Okay.
As far as I know, my father is. He's a loser, but anyway.
I'm sorry. I feel like listen, I think there's a lot of us at this day and age can say that about our dads, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm over it. 62. I'm over it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not.
I'm 55. But your dad's in his 80s, is he not? Like his mid to late
Yes.
80s?
Yes.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you have any military reference around you? Because I'm hearing military.
Um, Not that I know of. My father-in-law was Navy.
But see, he's around you though because of your husband's father, correct?
Right, right.
Now, are you still married?
Yes.
Now, is he
40.
passed? Is he passed?
My husband?
No, your father-in-law.
Yes. Yes.
Because I feel like he's here. Like I just heard the name Tom or Thomas or Tommy. Do you have any Tom or Thomases or any T names around you?
Not around me. My dad's brother's name is Tom, Tommy, Thomas,
Yeah, it's
but
just as it doesn't have to be around you. It's like somebody that you know, like in your family or is the related to you. They don't have to be around you at this second. Does that make sense?
right, right. Yes, he's alive. He's
that
alive.
but that's okay. I hear names either a living or past. Chris, I just heard the name Chris. I don't not for Christina. I just heard the name Chris. Do you have like a Chris, or could this be
Her
just
husband.
your husband is Chris?
Mhm.
Shut
Yes.
up. Really? That's crazy. Christina never told me that. I didn't know her dad's name. Just so you know that she never told me what her dad's name was, just so you know.
Yep. 41 years.
That's amazing. Congratulations. I was married to my husband for 34.
Well, yeah,
Is
we've
this
been.
is this actually named Christopher? I heard Christopher.
There is uh, he had a son, Christopher. He did pass.
Oh my God, he's here. I just got goosebumps. Do you want to talk to him? Did you know this boy?
Yes, I did.
So this
Yes.
was your stepson.
Yes.
So Christopher's here. Like,
Wow.
was he in his 20s, maybe late teens or early 20s when he passed?
Early 30s.
Early 30s. I just heard like 32.
It could have been 32.
Okay.
Around 32.
Let me ask you a question. Is there something to do with like an unaliving with his passing? Because I just heard unalive, like he's either taking responsibility or was an accident or somebody else did it, if that makes sense.
I really don't know what happened. I haven't gotten a clear, you know.
Um,
Mickey from was a accidental overdose.
yeah, that's what he's telling me he's taking responsibility for it because he says I'm hearing unalived, and then he's taking responsibility. He didn't mean to do it. He says it was an accident. I didn't mean to do it. He's like, please tell my dad I'm sorry. He said he feels like, you know what? Did you ever know this that he felt like he disappointed his dad like most of his life? Did you ever talk to you about this?
No, not really. It was like a really bad situation between his dad and his mom.
Because
I don't.
the way he's making me feel is like he just felt like his dad was disappointed in him his whole freaking life. He felt like he let him down and he just wasn't good enough. Like I feel like he had a lot of these internal things going on with him, sweetheart.
If If so, I don't know about it. I know that his dad tried to help him.
Right. Do you know if he put him in rehab at all? Because I heard about rehab.
He may have gone to rehab. He kind of, we didn't hear from him for a long time. And then he came back and then he took off again. But
Let me ask you a
yeah,
question. Let me ask you a question. I'm hearing 5. Has this been about 5 years since he died, or is there some kind of 5 with him? Like 5 years, 5 months, 5 days, 5 weeks, the month of May, a time or anything?
probably about 5 years ago.
Okay.
I'm going to say.
Now I just
It
heard,
was like
now I just heard September. Do you relate to September in some way?
relate to him in September.
Do you relate to September in any way? I'm hearing about September.
No.
Could be for birthdays, anniversaries, passings, or anything, sweetheart. It could.
My uncle passed in September.
Okay. Now I just heard November. November, sweetie. I just heard November as well.
I don't recall anything in November. No.
No worries, no worries. It's okay. It's okay. So let me go back to Christopher. Did they ever call him Chris though, or was he always Christopher?
Christopher.
Okay.
I called him Chris. I called him Chris.
Oh, okay. Very good. Because it's funny, when I heard Christopher, I wasn't sure if it was your husband or somebody else named Christopher. So that's amazing that I heard the Christopher part, because I would have had no way to know. Listen, I've done readings for Christina, but I don't remember the readings at all, so I would have no idea. Oh my gosh.
We do love him. His dad does love him. He always has. And we do miss him.
And he's okay. He just wants me to tell you that he's okay. Now, do you relate to May? I just heard May as well. Is an anniversary? Is his anniversary coming up? Because I heard anniversary.
Chris's anniversary is coming up in April. His birthday is in April.
Okay, because I heard May and then I heard anniversary. So his anniversary of his passing is coming up, correct?
His birthday in April. My cousin died in May. His name is Stevie.
Okay, very good. Stevie. I heard an S name, I just hadn't said anything about it yet. But Christopher, he's like, please, he says, do me a favor. He says, please tell my dad that I'm okay. And then I miss him tremendously. I wish to God I was still here, but he didn't mean to do it. He said it was a complete accident. He tells me that he took something that caused this. Do you know if it could have been laced with F, possibly? Because I'm hearing about the F, the FENTANYL. Is that possible?
Yes, I heard that.
Okay, because that's what he's telling me. He's telling me it was laced with F. And I have to spell it out. I can't say it because I get freaking bananaed on here every time I talk about shit like that. So hold on a second. Do you know if he was also a drinker? He's talking about drinking as well, sweetheart.
Yes,
Okay.
He did.
I feel like his drinking had something to do with like suppressing his appetite and suppressing his emotions and stuff like that. So I feel like he just feels like he let his dad down most of his life. I feel like he's ashamed of what he did and how he was. He says, I'm just so ashamed. I wish to God I could change things. I wish that I could go back to how things were when I was a kid. But I feel like he felt torn between his parents because it was a bad divorce between his parents, wasn't it?
They were never married, but it was
contentious.
It was bad.
It was bad, contentious. Wait, did they fight over the kids? Do you know?
He tried to visit and talk with them, and his mom just up and left, and it took me months to see if I could try to find them for my husband, and
I feel like
got to New York, and then we lost.
Yeah. But Did you guys get a phone call? Is that how you found out that Christopher had passed away?
I believe it was a Facebook message. I'm not sure.
Robert got a message from
My son Robert got a message that
Okay.
he told
Okay. That's too bad.
it is.
Let me
It is.
ask you
But
something. Let me ask you something. Is it possible he was out on the street when this happened or no?
I don't know. I know he was living in Florida. I don't know.
Because what I heard was street. I heard the word I heard was street. So I'm assuming that's what he's trying to tell me, but I don't know 100%. Because listen, the thing about being a psychic medium is you hear one word, and so I'll hear say, let's say heart. First, for instance, I'll hear heart, and then I'll be like, okay, what happened to the heart? So I hear one word, and I heard street, and I don't know what to do with that. So I'm just wondering if somebody found him in the street or something, or if he was living on the street. Do you know anything about that at all?
I think maybe he was with some friends. I don't know. I don't know if he was living on the street. I don't know
Okay.
if he was living with his mom, but I know.
You know what? I feel like he was partying that day or something. I'm hearing he's talking about being partying or being in a party. I feel like somebody gave him something that was laced with F, and that's how he died. That's what he's showing me, sweetheart.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Okay, very good. So that's just that's what he's validating. That's what happened to himself. So that's what he's showing.
Yeah, I don't.
He's making me
We
feel
do
like
miss him.
he's making me feel like he just collapsed over and like somebody had called 911. But I feel like he collapsed in front of somebody, or he was with somebody when he collapsed. That's kind of how Christopher's making me feel.
To the best of my knowledge, I honestly I don't know. I don't know how that.
That's okay. I'm just telling you kind of what he's telling me. Hey, Lori, I'm in
Right.
Kentucky too, darling. I live in Lexington. Somebody said hello from Kentucky. I live in Lexington, Kentucky, so that's great. Okay, so Christopher, he's like, first of all, he wants to thank you for being such an amazing person for his father. You guys have been together for 41 years. And he's like, you deserve the world. He said, for putting up with his dad for 41 years.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
shit, you agree?
Exactly.
He said you have to be a saint. He said you have to be a saint to put up with my father.
Yes. It's been challenging, definitely, but I
Oh
love
my gosh, that's funny as hell. That is so amazing. I love that. That's funny. Funny. I love that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He says, let me ask you something. Oh, you're in Pikeville? Yeah, I'm in Lexington. Hey, Pikeville, what's up? Yeah, somebody's in Pikeville. We've got a lot of Kentucky people here today, my friends. Let me ask you something. Is there some health problems going on with your husband? Yeah.
He's got he had a stroke a few years back.
Okay.
It didn't do any really damage.
Well, what about his heart? I'm hearing about somebody's heart. Could this be for him?
No, not for him. Not for him.
The way I'm feeling, he's making me feel. Well, let me ask you a question. My chest has started to get tight. Is your husband having any kind of chest problems at all?
No.
Okay. I don't know if this is something that they're warning me about or what, but I'm hearing about. That's kind of what I'm hearing. So I don't know what to do with it.
Right. Now he's fine. Other than the normal, arthritis.
Is he in his late 60s, early 70s? Your husband?
He's the same age as me, 62.
What is it?
62.
62. Okay, because what I'm hearing is like 60s to early 70s. So for me, when I hear an age, I hear like, let's say I hear 65. So my guess is that some from mid 60s to late 60s. So there's like a 5 or 6 year time gap that I hear for like when I hear a number. So usually that's like 3 or 4 years before, 3 or 4 years after. So very good. Because what I heard was like 67. So like that's like a 5 year age span, you know?
Right. Yeah. It's we're both 62. So.
Very good. Do you relate to diabetes? Who has diabetes around you? I'm hearing about diabetes.
My mother-in-law has diabetes. My father-in-law had diabetes.
Very good.
My nephew has diabetes.
So yeah, diabetes is big. Is it type 2? I'm hearing about type 2 as well.
I think so.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay. Very good, very good. But Christopher wants you to give a message. He's like, will you just please tell your dad that I'm okay? Tell your dad. Tell my dad, not your dad. Tell my dad that I'm okay. He just wants to be known that he's fine. You know, he gives you guys signs. I don't know if you realize this, but do you notice the lights flicker in your house a lot?
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Because I feel like when he comes around, he makes the lights flicker. What about feathers? Are you guys finding feathers at all?
I have a couple times, just kind of, seen them. No, I can't pinpoint when, but I have seen them.
Very good. He's also talking about coins. Have you been finding like random coins, like especially when he first died? Did you guys find a lot of coins like laying around on the ground, or you would go places and find a coin or all that good stuff?
I have, yes. I have, yes.
So those are just the signs. He's also talking about like repetitive numbers. Like if his dad sees like, let's say the time is 3:33 or like 11:11 or like 1:11 or some kind of the repetitive numbers he's talking about too as well.
If his dad does, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't sleep through the night. He just doesn't sleep all the way through. He'll wake up and then be up for a little while, then go back to sleep.
Yeah,
so.
It's funny. You know, I've been waking up about 4:00 in the morning every morning. I don't know if it's because spirits are trying to talk to me or what. I don't know what it is. It's so annoying. Can somebody tell Jason how to get a reading, please? Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, Lainey, interesting, Lainey, you just did that. That's funny. She just said it, put it right after I said that. That's interesting. Okay, let me see what I'm hearing for you, sweetheart. Now let's see. He's like, we just please tell my dad how much I love him and miss him, and he just feels like he was a disappointment to his father, and that breaks my heart, because I know he felt like it, but I don't think he was, but he felt like he disappointed his dad a lot through the years.
Well, please let him know, not at all, not at all.
He said that's nice to hear, because he said he just felt like he was like a big disappointment to his father, especially when he would be using, and that's unfortunate. I feel like he wasn't a disappointment. He was just worried. You know what I'm saying? Just worried about stuff.
Yeah, he was, yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on with him, and I believe that maybe, with him doing that, it kind of just numbed whatever he was feeling.
Definitely.
The pain, the hurt, it numbed it. That's what I heard.
No, definitely. I feel like he wanted to stop. I don't think he knew how, to be honest with you. I know that he wanted to try to stop, but I honestly don't think he knew how to stop.
No, and like I said, we tried to help him, and I was hoping, and I saw that maybe he was on the right path, and you can only do so much, but no, definitely not a disappointment.
And he just wants you to know, he says, please tell my dad, and he wants you guys to know, he says, I'm at peace now. He said, it took me a long time to get there, but he says, I finally made peace with my passing, because he didn't want to die. He wasn't ready to die, but unfortunately, he took it into his own hands. I'm going to tell you something, honey. My husband died the exact same way.
Oh, wow.
And he was 59, so I know exactly how my kids, I don't know how you feel, because, this is his son, but my children know how you feel in a way, because their dad died the exact same way. That's how my husband passed away. Unfortunately, it's just very unfortunate, but there's nothing I could do about it, But he had severe neuropathy, and I'm also an energy healer. I really wish to God I could have healed my husband back then, but I wasn't ready. I didn't know that I could heal back then, because when my husband was alive, I just didn't know. So
it's just, yeah. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Mickey, I have a quick question. When you were asking about her dad passing, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
When you were asking about her dad passing, she refers to her stepdad as her dad because that's who was around the most, that assistant.
And he
Could that
passed?
be who
And he passed?
he did?
Now, listen,
Yes.
I just heard the name Peter. Is there any Peters around or any P names around you? Peter or P's? Peter, like Paul? Any kind of P names?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Not that I can think of.
I don't know any.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hold on a second. I gotta take somebody off of here. Hold on a second. Somebody who is not real. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, very good. Let's see. David. I just heard a D name or David.
Isn't Grandpa's brother's?
My stepdad, his brother was named David.
Okay, what was your stepfather's name?
George.
George? Hold on, I just heard a Henry. Do you guys have a Henry or an H name? I just heard Henry.
Daddy's relative one that gave me the duck statue wasn't his name, an H name.
I know my father-in-law. I know my husband's grandfather's name was Henry.
Okay, listen. I'm hearing all these names with you. I have no idea I would be able to claim all these names. I usually hear the names. So this is just people that are around you that you guys know, or people that are living or past either one. And it's not a coincidence. What?
It's funny because I'll be sitting here. I don't smoke in my house.
Yeah,
but I can
and you
smell
smell
cigarette
smoke.
smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And then
yeah.
it's funny because I'll smell cigar smoke.
It's because they're still doing it on the other side, sweetheart. That is their symbol or sign for you to know that they're still here, my friend.
That's what I tell my husband. I said, your dad came to visit, and
yeah,
he's just doing things. And we went to the cemetery while we were gone, just a couple days ago. And I told him, I said, we know you come and visit. Keep coming and visiting. We love when you come to visit. And
they don't want anybody to be scared. They just want to be known that they're there. They're trying to give you messages. They're trying to let you guys know. The flickering the lights. I feel like everybody flickers the lights around your house, and they give you all these signs. The feathers is a big one. I'm just feeling about the feathers again. I feel like that's a big sign. White, is it white feathers? If you find any feathers, or are they white?
White and gray. I mean, It's not every day, but I have seen them.
No, it's not every day, but they do send them to you.
I mean, and it's like people say, when you see a red bird or a red bird crosses in front of you, then that means that, there's somebody, thinking about you or something like that.
And butterflies. I also heard butterflies as well, sweetheart.
Yes, butterflies. I heard butterflies too. I was trying to, it's been, you never get over it, obviously, but I was wanting to know about my brother.
What about him?
Is he okay?
Now, were you younger than him?
Yes.
Did he have heart problems? Did he pass from like a heart attack? I just heard heart or heart attack.
No. That was my stepdad.
That was your stepdad. Okay, that was your stepdad. That was George, right? George?
Yes. Yeah.
Steve or Stevie? Is it Steve?
Stevie, my cousin, he had a massive heart attack.
Okay, so that's the heart people I'm hearing about. Cancer. I'm hearing about cancer. Would this be your brother?
My brother, yes. Yes.
M, like Michael, or some kind of M name around you? Like
Michelle?
Michelle? Michelle, that's me. Who's Michelle?
That's my stepsister. She passed several years ago.
Very good. Honey, it's not a coincidence. I'm getting all these names, my friend. I'm getting all these initials and names. It's not a coincidence. There's quite a few.
Yes, we're a big family.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But your brother, he's okay. He says that. What was his name? Because I don't know if I got his name.
Bobby.
Bobby. Oh, Bobby. Okay, Bobby. Yeah, I might have got it. I don't know. I didn't give myself a chance. I just didn't. You know, it's funny when I get all these names. I think it's funny that people think I'm just guessing. First of all, I'm not guessing the exact names or the exact initials for people in your family. There's 26 letters, and it's not a coincidence. I guess all the letters right in the name. So, I mean, it is what it is. I hear letters and names. That's just how it is, you know?
Right, right.
But Bobby says, I love you, sis. I'm okay. He is all right on the other side. He says, but he's always with you too. So he's always here. He's always with you, but he loves you. Let me ask you something. Was he like in his 50s when he passed away? I just heard like 53.
No, he was 18.
Oh, wow. Okay. But would he be that age now though?
He would be 63. No, wait a minute. 63 or 64.
Okay. Was there some
65.
kind of accident with him? I just heard accident.
No, it was colon cancer.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. We'll put the accident to the side. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Wow, at
colon
18,
cancer.
that's crazy. He's like, you know what? I barely had time to live, and here I am, just passed away. You know, he said it's been lonely over here until people started passing away, so I wouldn't be alone. He said because he was alone for a long time until people started passing away within your family.
Mm-hmm.
Were you like 16 when he passed? Were you like 15 or 16 when he passed?
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, and his anniversary's coming up, which makes it even harder.
Is it
'cause he
June?
did pass
Is it June?
this month, 25th.
25th. Okay, February. Okay, very good. I heard June. I don't know what June is, but I heard June.
His birthday's June.
What?
His birthday's in June.
Shut
19th.
up.
Yeah,
Shut up. What, you said the 15th?
the 19th.
The 19th. Shut up, because he told me June. That is insanely crazy, my friend.
Yes, and
By accident, you mean car accident or?
did you mean a car accident when you said accident?
Well, I just heard accident. I don't know. Until I dive deeper. What I just heard was accident. It's possible. Could be a car accident. Yeah.
Her sister Michelle unalived herself.
Okay.
That fits with the accident.
Yes. Let me ask you something. Was there a GUN involved in this by chance?
Yes.
Because I heard pew, 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 pew. I heard GUN is what I have to. I don't like normally skipping to a lot of people, but there's a lot of people here that will have something to say. I'm like skipping from person to person. I guarantee no other psychic medium talks to so many people in one session. I swear. It's like,
Yes, there was one of those involved. Yes.
okay.
That's
She's making me feel like she making me feel like she was very depressed. And even though she made me feel like even though she had a lot of people around her, she felt very lonely.
yes, very depressed, very lonely.
And, you know, my name is Michelle too, so I feel like a connection to her.
Right.
Would she be? She would be around 60 now too, wouldn't she?
She would be around close to 60.
50. I heard like 59, 58, 59.
Basically, yeah.
Let me ask you something. Was she in her 30s when she did this?
Yes.
I just heard 32.
It's a good. It's. I believe so. I don't have the accurate day.
Well, you're supposed to know that. I'm just kidding. You're supposed to know this stuff, woman. I'm just kidding.
I know.
I'm just kidding. Listen, I'm throwing a lot at you because you have a lot of people around you, sweetheart. And most psychic mediums don't like to jump from people to people, but I don't mind because I'm really good at it. I feel like I'm very thorough when I do this, and most psychic mediums don't want to jump from person to person, but I don't mind because I want to get as many people as I can in this reading. You know what I'm saying? Michelle just told me, she says, I love you. So this was your little sister. I heard little sister, correct?
Yes.
She 58? I literally just heard 58.
Because I think
About
Kathy are the
58.
same age.
About
Okay.
58.
So she said, first of all, Christina, she says, hi, I love you. She said, it's so good to see you again. She says, my little niece. And then she says she loves you also. Honey, what is your name? I'm so sorry. What is your name?
Barbara.
Barbara. Okay, Barb. Is it Barb? Do you go by Barb?
It doesn't matter, either or.
Because I want to call you Barb for some reason. Or Barbie. Wait, you go by Barbie?
No, Barb's fine.
Okay, I just heard Barbie. Listen, she said, Barb, I want to tell you something. She says, I miss you and I love you so very much. And I'm okay over here. I'm okay. And she said, so it's been, what, 25 years, hasn't it? Since I just heard 25.
About that, yes.
24, 25. So.
Right.
What, I heard 2002? Is that around 2002 when she passed?
I'm not exactly sure the date, to be honest with you.
That's okay. I'm going to go with like 2001, 2002, because that's what I heard. So,
did she mention as to why, or was it an accident?
It was on purpose.
It was on purpose.
Mm-hmm. I heard purpose. She was severely depressed. She just, the way she's making me feel, she didn't feel very comfortable in her own skin, sweetheart. That's how she's making me feel. And she was severely depressed. She was just not having any of it. She was tired of living. I'm just being honest with you, sweetheart. She was tired of living.
Well, she had a lot of there's some health issues, and
yes,
she went to doctors after doctors, and they thought it was Parkinson's, and
she was in a lot of pain, sweetheart. She was in a lot of pain. You understand that? So
yes,
with her pain, she was ready. My husband was the same way, sweetheart. Listen, my husband was tired of living. He complained. He said he was just ready to go. He kept begging God to take him for the last year of his life. So he was ready to go. My husband was in severe pain. He had severe neuropathy, and I wish to God I was a psychic. I wish I was an energy healer back then, because I might have been able to heal his neuropathy, because I helped somebody yesterday with their neuropathy, and I wasn't sure if I could do it. And I helped her neuropathy. She could start feeling in her toes again. I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. I know I could have helped my husband's neuropathy if I could have been an energy healer back then. And then I wish to God that it just makes me feel so freaking sad, dude. Because I could have saved my husband a lot of heartache, but I just didn't know.
I'm there at one point. I was really sad because I missed my brother. Didn't get the chance to.
2009.
I didn't get a chance to grow up with him. And
I know, and because you were only like 15 or 16 when he passed, and he's like, did he suffer from this for around 6 to 8 months before he passed away? Do you remember?
I honestly don't remember. He was living with my dad, and
he said, I want to tell you something. Even though you didn't think I was there, he said, I was. He says, I've been looking after you. He's your guardian angel, sweetheart. He said, I've been looking after you your whole life. He said, you might not have known I wasn't there, but I was. He's been around you your whole life. He's just not here physically, just spiritually, sweetheart. So he's been here your whole life, sweetheart. You just didn't know it.
Vicky, does he know that I tell everybody that I would have been his favorite?
Of course. He says, I hear everything you say. Come on, girl. What are you talking about? He said, because you are my favorite. He said, because you are my favorite.
I just miss it because when I hear someone say, oh, my older brother this or my younger brother that, and I don't have that.
He says, hold on. He says, if I could have done anything else, I would have done anything to stay with you, because you know how much I cared about you. You were my little sister. I wanted to protect you. I wanted to protect you from the evil of this world. But he said that just wasn't in the cards for me. His soul contract was he wasn't supposed to live past the age of 18. He had a very young soul contract. So this is why he died so young. He only had the 18 years, and that was it. His contract was done. This is why he passed so young, sweetheart. We all have a soul contract, and when that time is up, we pass. And that day he died, that was his day. That's his soul contract was up, and so he's been on the other side ever since. But Darling, he's been here with you. You just didn't know it, sweetheart. Michelle's been here with you. Ricky's been here with you. And the funny thing is my husband's brother name was Ricky, and he unalived himself back in the 80s. So that's interesting that his name was Ricky. I've had some Ricky. I feel like my husband's brother is coming through a lot because I've had a lot of Ricky's come through. That's interesting.
Do you have any the letter initial C?
I heard Charles or Chuck or something.
Curtis?
Could be Curtis. Yeah, it could be Curtis. Who is Curtis?
He was my brother-in-law. He passed, and we miss him dearly.
Do you know if there's any cancer with him? I just heard cancer.
Poland.
Okay. He says, I'm fine. I'm here. And he says, I miss you too. Has it been only like a year or two since he passed?
I'm going to say probably close to 10 years, I think.
10 years. Okay. But it seems like he just passed away though. It's been a while, but it seems like he's just passed away. He says, tell my brother I'm okay. Tell your husband I'm okay. I am well. I am doing good. He said this last decade I've lived an amazing life over here. So he says, just tell him that I'm okay and that I miss him tremendously. Was this his older brother by chance?
No, this was my sister's husband.
Oh, your sister's husband. Okay, listen, you say in-laws and you're married. I don't know who's who.
I'm sorry. This was my sister's husband,
Okay,
my
okay.
brother-in-law, Curtis. I was actually there when he passed, and I just, for the longest time, I could never get past that. And I had a really hard time, as well as my daughter.
Well, yeah, listen, he's honestly, he's okay. He's fine. He says, I'm great. I'm living a good life. He says, I have nothing wrong with me over here. I'm enjoying my retirement from living. He said, I'm enjoying my retirement from living. That's what he said. Interesting.
He mentioned maybe his wife or ex-wife and children.
He says just give them a message. He says just tell them, of course, how much I love them, how much I miss them, and how much I will always love them. But he definitely just wants them to know that he's okay and that he's at peace. He had to be at peace. He had no choice.
Right. It was 10 years.
The 11th was 10 years.
Yes. So, I mean, I just often wonder about the ones that I was close with, and
They're all listen, sweetheart. They're all around you. All of them are here. You don't have to worry because it's like they're just like one big family over there on the other side. They're all spending time together, getting to know each other, and they're okay. Curtis is fine. Michelle is fine. Ricky's fine. Bobby's fine. Everybody's okay on the other side, sweetheart. You don't have to worry about them. And Curtis said, he says, tell my kids how much I truly love them. I love them more than anything, and I just want them to be okay. I wish to God I could still be here, but unfortunately I'm not. But
does he know he's got an extended family?
always, listen, he's always around. Of course he knows this, sweetheart. He definitely knows this for sure.
Got grandbabies and great-grandbabies.
Always. He says he sees them all. He's around all of them, sweetheart. You don't have to worry. He sees everybody. He says, I promise you, I see everybody.
And my brother does too. He sees my babies.
Always. Listen, because they're with you. Listen, I could not do this reading if they were not with you. Do you understand this? I could not do any of this stuff if they were not with you, sweetheart. Listen, I kind of feel like everybody's pulling away, but I have to tell you something. This reading was a good reading, and everybody just wants to know, look, they love you. Everybody's okay. They just pass the message of everybody just loving everybody else, and they're okay. Curtis just says, tell my kids I love them and miss them tremendously. And your family loves you, and your stepdad loves you. Everybody over there loves you, sweetheart. I promise you.
Okay. I often wondered, but I'm glad that Christina, found you.
Yeah, of course. Listen. This is my calling. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is one of those readings that I don't normally jump from person to person to person. I don't mind, but normally I don't like to do that. But this is my first reading of the day, and I felt like I was able to do it. Sometimes I'm not, but this was a freaking amazing reading. I swear. I think it was really good.
Yeah. We went through a lot of family members, like my grandmother. I don't know if she was there,
No, listen, I promise you, honey, everybody is here. You don't have to worry. Everybody that you've lost is standing right behind you and around you. I promise you. I see them all. Tons of people are there.
Is my cousin Stevie there with you, or?
He's with you. He's not with me, but yeah, he's with you as well. Everybody's with you, sweetheart. Everybody's with you.
Well, often I always want to have I have to have a question answered if you can answer it. When I'm sitting at home and there's no cooking going on, it's just me. I smell someone cooking breakfast or something.
He's trying to feed people. I mean, it could be anybody, but since you're asking about Stevie, I'm sure it's Stevie. If that's what you're asking.
Anybody, it's anybody, not just
because
you.
they're still doing the same routine that they did when they were alive. It's just they're doing it on the other side. But because what they're doing, the veil is so thin that it travels from their world to ours because it's just so thin. This is why you can smell everything, because they eat over there too. They eat and they cook everything. So they do the same things they did here. It's just we can't see it. It's just only they can see it.
That explains it, because I'm like, my son will come out and say, Mom, what are you cooking? I'm not cooking nothing, and I'm like, I don't know. Somebody's having dinner or something.
It's because they still do the same things over there. It's just we smell it because the line between our world and theirs super duper thin because they can touch us. It's like the thinnest layer you could find. It's like a super, super, super thin layer. This is why what they do carries over to our world, because we can smell it and all kinds of shit. I'm telling you, sweetheart.
I can feel it sometimes. I feel someone touching me, or
yeah,
one night
always.
I woke up and like somebody was putting a blanket on me, and I was like, okay, let me just sleep now. I'm good, thank you. I don't know who it was.
Well, listen, honey. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording because first of all, this was a great recording. So when you guys rewatch this, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to stop the recording.